Alright, welcome guys to another Barbados Walker video. Let's make the place a little cool, less noise. Today, we are going to be driving from Bridgetown. This is the Cheapside area. And from here, we'll be going to... We'll pass through Bridgetown, then we'll go along the coastline, and then we'll go through Hastings, and I think we are reaching all the way to Oistins. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and let's go. First of all,
hey, if I have change, nice.
Okay.
I just think so I can move.
Oh, gently. Today is a Sunday when I'm recording this, so you're not going to see a lot of people on the road. We have this place that is very empty. On a normal day, on a normal weekday, if you see the number of cars and human beings that are here, amazing stuff. But today is Sunday. Very good time to drive around Bridgetown. Fun fact, almost everywhere is closed in Barbados on a Sunday. So look at all these shops, they are closed. The banks are closed, obviously. These supermarkets, many of these grocery stores, they are all closed. So if you come to Barbados during the weekend or on a public holiday or something like that, you don't expect to see shops open unless that shop is, you know, special, unique, something about it, or they just decided to open that day. Some of them open half day too. The ones that are open, they will not open all day. So that is something to keep in mind. They will close, if they normally close like 8 p.m. or 10 p.m, they may close at 4 p.m. or 2 p.m, so 1 p.m, some of them. So plan for that. There was a time, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, when I was walking and someone was on the road and he was looking for where to buy something, places to go and visit. And then he was like, is there something going on? Like all the shops are closed. And I told him, oh, it is Sunday. It's normal. And he said, Aish. Because he was going back on a Tuesday and he planned that he was going to come on Friday and enjoy Barbados Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then go back on Tuesday. But the thing is, weekends, many things, especially Sunday, many places are not open. Unless you go to rum shops and bars. Fun fact, there are more than 1,500 rum shops in Barbados. Barbados also has the oldest rum distillery in the world. In fact, it is safe to say that Barbados invented rum. Barbados is so old with rum, even the Pirates of the Caribbean, I think part of it was acted in Barbados, for the rum and for the beach and all the other beautiful scenes. But I think the rum also played a very large part. Mount Gay Distillery is the oldest rum distillery in the entire world. Barbados also has whether one of the strongest or the strongest rum in the world. 85% alcohol. 85. So that's something. Barbados has more rum shops than churches. And that's saying a lot because Barbados has a whole lot of churches. there are a lot of, especially Anglican churches in Barbados, because here was under British rule for a long time. Another fun fact, even though here was under British rule for a long time, the Portuguese also came here. As a matter of fact, it was the Portuguese that gave Barbados its name, because the name Barbados came from the Portuguese phrase Os Barbados, and in Spanish is Los Barbados, which means the bearded ones. They met the bearded fig tree. If you Google bearded fig tree, you'll see a picture of it. It's a fig tree that has very long strands coming from the branches, and they look like beards, sort of, I think. Maybe that's why they named them beard. But they found them here, and they were very prominent or significant to the Portuguese. So they named them the bearded ones. And then the name of that bearded fig tree now stuck as the name of the entire country, because this is where the bearded ones were found. So that's where we get Os Barbados. Very interesting fun fact that I didn't know until I looked it up. So the Portuguese were also here. We are currently passing a beach. I don't know the name of this beach, but now we're leaving St. Michael, we're leaving Bridgetown, and this is where we'll start being on the south coast side. And then our next, we're going to pass the garrison. And another fun fact, I think it's the garrison Savannah. It was one of the military bases of the British when they were here, and then now it's used for horse racing. It's also a UNESCO heritage site. It's a very nice big place, and they do a lot of horse racing. But the biggest sport here that many people actually like, and it's basically a national obsession, is cricket. Do you know that people even sleep outside overnight to try to get into Kensington Oval when there is a sport going on? They will sleep at the stadium. It's very interesting. It's almost every man in Barbados can give you a full breakdown of cricket games. And it's a game that I didn't even know existed until I came to the Caribbean. I only knew about baseball, and they are similar in some ways, but very different if you start looking at them like really well. And then I found out that the Caribbean, they really like it. While I was staying in St. Vincent, a lot of people liked cricket, but I have not seen the level of love for cricket in any other part of the world like I've seen in Barbados. Maybe the Indians and the Pakistanis might have a similar level of obsession with cricket. This is a very deep hole in the road here that we just entered. I hope it's fixed soon. Alright, so cricket, we can say that cricket is almost as close to a Barbados man's heart as grilling and rum, because they like barbecue as well, grilled meats, pork, rum. If you have this combination and you play it on a Sunday afternoon, after they come back from church, they sit down, they have their beer, rum, pork, and you play cricket, game done, over. That's it. They can be there for 5 hours straight having fun. So during cricket season, when they're having a lot of games, that's one of the happiest times in Barbados. Well, it depends. it could also be one of the most angry times depending on how the players play. I remember there was a time that they lost a game. I don't watch cricket, so I don't follow up with this, but Barbados lost a game, and in the bus, when I entered bus to go to Bridgetown that day, the van, the driver was angry. He picked up a passenger. Then he started complaining to the passenger about what happened. The passenger too was angry, started complaining. They picked up a third passenger, and then they were all just talking about what a horrible game it was, how the Barbados players are not serious. And they were so angry. And I don't think it was possible to have a happy conversation with any Bajan man on that day, because it was such a very horrible loss. I think they lost, I can't remember what the exact score is, but it was a very terrible loss. So during cricket season, it's either the best time of a man's life in Barbados, or it can be some of the most frustrating moments. So we just passed the Hastings area, and we're headed towards Oistins now. As you can see, there's zero traffic. I don't think I've been on this road on video when there's traffic, but I should come here one day when there's traffic so that you see how painfully slow the traffic can be. You can probably finish 3 episodes of your favorite show while sitting in traffic during rush hour. But on Sunday, there is almost no car on the road compared to weekdays. Again, I've said this in many of my videos, that if you want to get around Barbados and you have the opportunity to pick the time you can leave your house, like you don't have a specific time you want to go out, you just want to go out, you should make sure that you come out during when it's not peak hours. So think 8 a.m. to around 9 a.m. people are going to work, people are going to school, all the cars are on the road. But around 10, 11, 12, between actually 9-ish, more like 9:30, 10 to 11:30, the roads are free. So you don't get stuck in traffic like that, and you can just drive very freely. At 12 o'clock, you will have a semi-traffic situation. I call it semi-traffic, not really real traffic, because it's not as bad as the 8 a.m. and the 5 p.m. one. But a lot of people are coming out for lunch, their lunch break. Some people are changing shifts. So if somebody had an early morning shift or a night shift that extended into the day, some of their shifts will end around 12. So they may be changing shift or lunch break or done for the day, depending on what kind of work they are doing, or going from one part of the island to the other. So you see some traffic around 12. And then the mother of all traffics, 5 p.m. you can start reading your Bible, Genesis, and you'll get home Exodus chapter 2 by the time the traffic is done. It also depends on how far you live from Bridgetown. If you're closer to Bridgetown, you get home quickly. But most people live middle of the island, maybe some east coast, some around Speightstown area. Yes, I finally got the correct pronunciation. I told you in my last video. It's pronounced Speightstown. Not Speightstown, not Speedstown. Speightstown. And if you want a little Bajan in there, you put a little K inside. So it sounds like Speightstown. Then you sound more local, more Bajan. And you confuse the locals. They don't know whether you're a foreigner or not. But I mean, you have to say Speightstown and then not say any other word again. Because the moment you say something else, they know that you're not a local. Alright, so now we are going to turn on this roundabout and go towards Oistins side. One thing I like with the roundabouts in Barbados is that they are very well maintained. The grass is cut nice. If there is a small flower thing going on in the middle, it's well maintained. If there's a statue, if there are signs, if there's whatever, they actually maintain it nice. So anytime you see a roundabout, and they have lots of roundabouts. In fact, when I was reading fun facts, I want to make a video soon talking about fun facts about Barbados. One of the points there was that Barbados has so many roundabouts. But I don't think it's that many. I mean, coming from someone in the US, or in the US, they don't have too many roundabouts. Many of the roads are just intersections, T-junctions and stuff like that. There are very few roundabouts. So coming from a place like that, it would seem like Barbados has so many roundabouts, but they just have roundabouts. It doesn't seem like too much roundabouts. Alright, this road takes us straight to Oistins. The route we just followed now is sometimes the ZR buses may follow this route. Sometimes they may go through they won't be on the coast. They will be on the second road inside, and then they'll come out on this same road that we are on to get to Oistins. So either way, you'll pass through the same road, but how you get to this road will be slightly different if you're in a ZR bus. So this is what you can expect to see when they are driving you to Oistins. Another fun fact about Barbados is that anywhere you're going, from anywhere to anywhere, you pay a flat fee in the ZR buses. So it's always going to be $3.50. Well, as at the making of this video, price may go up in the future if you're watching this 5-10 years from now maybe. But so even if you enter a bus from Bridgetown to right where we are now and you just stop, 10-minute drive or 2-minute drive, it's going to be $3.50. If you enter a bus from Bridgetown all the way to Speightstown at the top of the island, it's still going to be $3.50, which is very nice and convenient. So if you have one bus to take to where you're going, you're leaving and you're coming back, you can just budget $7 and $3.50 will take you where you're going, $3.50 will bring you back, and you're done with transport. This is good if you live in a place that has good transport. Like if you live somewhere around Oistins, there is always van coming to Oistins from Bridgetown and from Bridgetown to Oistins. So you're always going to get easy transport to this place. If you're trying to get to other places on the island from other places, not Oistins, you have to know which bus to enter. For example, if you're coming from a place in Christchurch and you're trying to get to Speightstown, you may need to go from Christchurch to Bridgetown and then get a bus from Bridgetown to Speightstown. If you plan it well and you're able to get the government bus, the big blue bus, you may be able to get a direct bus to Speightstown. But the problem with those buses is that many times the time you see on the website, the official transport board website, is not the time the bus comes, depending on where you are on the island. So if you have to be there at a certain time and you need to be back at a certain time, depending on what you see, the information you see online on the website will get you in trouble, because sometimes they will be 30 minutes late, sometimes they'll be a whole hour late, so you can't really rely on that. I don't know what's going on in front of us, but we have a traffic situation. Alright, so we're at Oistins. You see these fish signs in the sky here, up. In the night it lights up, and you know that they have fish fry here. There's also the fish market on our right hand side, and so the fish market is here, and then in front of us we have where the whole Oistins Fish Fry happens. Every Friday night this place is packed full with people. Every other night you can still come here and eat, and there are restaurants here, whatever. But on Friday nights, especially around 7 p.m. all the way to maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I don't know. But I usually leave around 10, 11. I don't know how long it stays. You will see a whole lot of people. There will be a show, there will be music, there will be dancing, and you can buy food and eat, and everywhere here is bubbly. Right, there's a KFC on this other side. You can get hot legendary fish cakes, which are nice. You can get roast pork, you can get fish, fried fish, etc., etc. Alright, so this is Oistins, and we have completed our journey from Bridgetown to Oistins. This is the post office at Christchurch Post Office. Oistins is also in Christchurch, by the way, but most people just call it Oistins, because when you're talking about Christchurch, people are usually thinking about more towards the center of the island, not the south coast. Alright, so on this road, if you follow this road, it will take you to the airport. But maybe the airport video is going to be a video for another day. Maybe. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. Remember to subscribe, like. We have reached 1,400 subscribers. That's a huge number. So many of you are watching. We have people from Barbados, UK, Canada, the United States, St. Vincent, Jamaica, Pakistan, Nigeria. So many people are watching from different locations across the world, and you're all welcome here. If there's a video that you want to see about Barbados, let me know, and if it's possible, we will make that video as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching. and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.